Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a topic that's not just a trend, it's a fundamental shift that is going to define the next decade of your career. We're talking about the AI revolution in civil engineering. For any engineer out there, the choices you make right now, well, they're designing your career path for 2030. So let's get right into it. This quote from an industry analysis just a little while ago really says it all, doesn't it? AI isn't just a little ripple in the pond. It's a tidal wave. And the message couldn't be clearer. You either learn to surf this wave or you risk getting left behind. The time to adapt is right now. So here's our game plan for today. First, we'll look at this AI tidal wave. Then, the new tools you'll be building with. After that, we'll get into how it's reshaping the job market, which leads to the choice you have to make: adapt or stagnate. And finally, we'll wrap up with a concrete plan for designing your career for 2030. All right, Section 1, the AI tidal wave. We're talking about a completely new engineering landscape here. This is a fundamental shift in what it even means to be an engineer today. And look at the speed of this change. It's just staggering. By late 2025, that's right around the corner, AI is on track to automate up to 40% of basic drafting. 2 years later, in 2027, a quarter of existing roles could be at risk of displacement. And then by 2030, the game has completely changed. The vast majority of detailing is automated, and nearly every firm, 90% of them, will be using AI-integrated BIM as standard practice. And let's be crystal clear about who this affects. If you're an engineer with anywhere from 6 months to, say, 10 years of experience, this isn't some far-off futuristic thing to worry about later. This is your present reality. It's happening right now on your projects, in your firm. Okay, so that's the why. That's the wave that's coming. Now for Section 2, let's talk about the what. What are these new tools? What does the AI-powered toolkit actually look like? Your software toolkit is getting a major upgrade. You've got familiar names like Revit and Tekla, but now they're supercharged with AI for things like generative design. Then you have incredible workflow automation engines like Dynamo, plus powerful new tools for optimization, simulation, and even sustainability analysis. You know, mastering these isn't just a nice little bonus for your resume anymore. It's quickly becoming the job itself. Let me give you a really simple, concrete example. Clash detection. We've all been there. The old way meant spending hours, sometimes even days, painstakingly poring over drawings looking for conflicts. The new way? You let an AI BIM system scan the entire model. It flags every single clash, automatically, in minutes. Think about that. Your value shifts from just finding the problem to being the expert who solves it. That's a huge change. Which brings us to Section 3. And this is the question on everyone's mind, right? What does all this automation and new tooling mean for our jobs? Let's get into the nitty-gritty and break down the real risks and the very real rewards. So the risk is not spread evenly across the board, far from it. If your role is primarily focused on basic drafting and detailing, the displacement risk is huge, a staggering 50% by 2030, simply because those tasks are the easiest to automate. But look what happens as you move up. Mid-level design and BIM roles see that risk drop to 25%, and for senior engineers doing high-level modeling, only 10%. For them, AI isn't a replacement, it's a powerful tool that amplifies their expertise. And all that data leads us to this single crucial number: a 30 to 35% overall displacement risk for engineers in that early to mid-career bracket. But here are the 4 most important words on this slide: if they don't adapt. See, this isn't a prediction of doom. It's a measurement of the cost of standing still. It's a call to action. Now, let's talk about the flip side of that risk, the reward. Let's talk money. A traditional designer's salary is, solid. But an AI-savvy BIM coordinator who can manage these complex, automated workflows, they're in a completely different league. Right now, there's what we call an AI premium of about 15 to 25% in the market, and that's projected to shoot up to 30, even 40% by 2030. The financial incentive to upskill is massive, and it's undeniable. And the upside isn't just about the salary, though that's obviously a huge part of it. When you adopt these tools, you see these incredible productivity boosts. And what happens when you're 50% more productive than your peers? You get noticed. That leads to 20% faster promotions on average. You become the go-to person who can deliver more value, more efficiently, and that just accelerates your entire career trajectory. So, Section 4. All of this really brings us to a clear fork in the road. There's no middle ground here. The next few years of your career boil down to a single critical decision. Are you going to adapt, or are you going to stagnate? Let's just lay out the two paths to 2030 side by side. It's pretty stark. On one path, you adopt AI. Now, are there cons? Sure. It requires a commitment, continuous learning, maybe 10-15 hours a week to start. But the pros? Leadership roles, that huge salary premium we talked about, and getting to lead the most innovative projects. Path 2 is not adopting AI. The only pro is short-term comfort, no learning curve, but the cons are severe. A high risk of redundancy, total career stagnation, and being relegated to doing the low-value, repetitive tasks that haven't been automated yet. All right, this brings us to our final section, designing your career. So, if you're choosing the path of adaptation and growth, let's get really practical. This isn't about vague ideas. This is your specific, actionable plan for building a high-impact career that's ready for 2030 and beyond. And I want you to think of it this way. This is not just a survival guide. This is your roadmap to becoming an absolutely indispensable leader. This is how you move from a position of risk to a position of genuine power and influence in this new AI-driven era. So here it is, your 5-step action plan. Number 1, master the AI-driven tools. Block out 5 to 10 hours a week. Put it on your calendar. 2, go deep on BIM and computational design. Don't just be a user. Become the person who can lead AI BIM integration. 3, focus on sustainability and AI. This is a massive growth area. Learn tools like Autodesk Insight. 4, develop some basic coding skills. Start with something like Python. It lets you build custom tools and solutions. And finally, number 5, build your personal brand. Share what you're learning in the projects you're working on. Make your expertise visible. The ultimate goal of this whole plan is to build what industry experts call a T-shaped skill set. Think of the letter T. The vertical bar, that's your deep foundational expertise in core civil engineering. That never goes away. It's your foundation. But the horizontal bar, that's your broad set of skills across AI, data analysis, BIM, and project management. When you combine that deep expertise with broad digital fluency, what do you get? You get the versatile, resilient, and frankly, irreplaceable engineer of the future. And so we end right back where we started. By 2030, AI fluency won't be a nice bonus. It won't be a nice to have. It will be absolutely non-negotiable. Your ability to move up, to earn more, to have a real influence on projects, it all depends on the actions that you decide to take today. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Your career in 2030 isn't some distant thing that's just going to happen to you. It's a structure, it's a project, and the design phase is happening right now. The only question left is, will you be the architect?